everyone, welcome to my latest video, my latest live stream. This is Queen from queenshowmamedia.com. So I'm actually here to talk to you about some PR strategies. As usual, that's what I mainly talk about. And I decided just to basically kind of show you an example of how to sort of use PR to build your brand, the kind of little things that you can do to make a shift, to make, just to have some tweaks going on, like to tweak things so that things can be a little bit different. Hi Kate, how are you, my lovely? Thanks for jumping on, thanks for the heart. So basically, as many of you know, I'm a PR media coach. I'm also a publicist, so I help women to break into the media, help them to get high levels of visibility, and I also give ideas for, breaking into the media, ideas for attracting those amazing interviews that you're looking for, and little things you can do to create a bigger buzz around your brand. If you're watching live, let me know if you have any questions for me. If you're watching on the replay, also drop me a comment and let me know if you've got any questions for me or any thoughts on this topic. I'm going to just give you a little bit of a recap. Kate says, hey Queen, all good here. Good to see you live. Oh, thank you, my lovely. And congratulations on your last, getting your last draft done. I'm so proud of you. And I can't wait to read your chapter in the book. So yes, I am so excited to talk to you today about how you can, add a few, in a way, some PR strategies to really take your business to that next level, and what could be those amazing little things or even big things that you can do to see some shifts, to see those media interviews roll through, flood through in your business, so that you can start getting booked to be on TV, booked to be on radio, booked to be on, and on podcast shows and so on and so forth. Hi Emmanuel, thanks for jumping on. Okay, so I'm showing you an example. You could buy new backdrops. Okay, so I bought 2 new backdrops. I have these 2 backdrops because I want to create a bigger buzz around my brand around the festive season. This is the festive season. We need to get excited about it. And some people are not willing to get excited about what's going on in society or what's going on in the world. Also, even taking a stand for what's going on in the world and society. So it could be, taking a stand for the Me Too movement, helping women in that way, whether it's you go and speak about it, whether it's you write an article on it, and so on and so forth. So sometimes we can do little things to create a bigger buzz, such as get a backdrop in the background. So I used to do this a lot with because I worked in television. So I've worked a lot in television for several years. Hi John, thanks for jumping on. And so I understand that you need to create a buzz, you need to do things like to actually attract people to pay attention to you. So for example, I've got a professional music video. That was one of the ways I helped people to be interested in whatever it is I'm doing, because not everyone's going to watch your live streams. Not everybody's going to listen to us when we create content online, whether it's audio live stream or whether it's a video live stream. Kate says, yay, backdrops. I was thinking of doing that. Where did you get them from? Yeah, thank you so much. I actually got these from Amazon. I've got 2. One's gold. One is actually really sequin gold, sparkly gold. And then this one is like a Christmassy one. They've got this other one, a snowman kind of one, like snowman blue. So I'm going to get that one too. But yeah, I definitely think backdrops are good. I've got pink one. I've got shed outside. So we have one in pink, we've got one in white. And I use this to create I'm talking proper sets, professional sets. And I would buy I had a table, I had, for example, Valentine's Day, I had balloons in the background. I've gone crazy with backdrops and sets. I've created some really great sets in my day. I'm going to post a video of one of my, one of the sets I created. You'll be like, is that really real? Was that, you did that? So yeah, I do love it. And it is such a simple thing. This cost me 20 something pounds. I think it was £20 for both backdrops. I've got my lights here. Kate says, I love Amazon, I'll check them out. Yeah, definitely check it out and do it. One person that does this really well, I'm going to quickly let you know, is Alex Beeden. Whenever she's launching her products or whenever she's launching her courses, I've noticed that she always changes up the background with different backdrops, and it does make a difference, ladies and gents. It makes a difference. So I was telling the ladies in my Facebook group, which I'm going to drop the link later. I'll definitely drop the link. I forgot to post it actually, but it's already on my Facebook page. If you scroll through, you'll see, scroll through, you'll see that I have a link of my 5-day challenge, which I'm running at the moment. And I was sharing with them, I was saying, ladies, one of the ways to do little tiny things that can make a big difference is just having a new backdrop. I talked about props, for example. When I go for photo shoots, I'll have balloons, I'll have I bring different things with me to make the photo shoot more interesting. This is just, it looks 3D, but it's just little tiny things. The lights in front of me, I'm going to turn off the lights to show you the difference. So can you see how can we see the difference? Like, so tiny things. Now these lights are off. Can you see how my live stream would look? Of course, I could add different lights to make it not so bad, but just little things like this where you buy the light in and then you now have a brighter room. Of course, I can make it brighter I've got 2 lights in front of me. I could obviously put the main light on. I've got another light in the background on, but can we just see? Yeah, Kate says big difference. Exactly. Hi, Rosaline. Thanks for jumping on. Yes, so it just makes a big difference when we do these things. When we have to act. I want to say that one of the best ways to create a bigger buzz around your brand as well is to excite your audience, excite your fans, make things like do something different, do something that you wouldn't normally do. It could even be as simple as wearing a suit jacket. You don't normally wear a suit jacket. It could be as simple as wearing red lipstick. You don't normally wear red lipstick. It could be that you just decide to go all, like, did you see Kylie Jenner? She went to her store. She's doing her pop-up stores and, you know, promoting her lip kits. And she wore this, like, pink suit. And her hair was blonde and, you know, the makeup's going on. She's got these trainers on. I mean, she looked like she had made an effort. She had, you know, rocked it. And I'm not saying you have to always dress glamorous. I love to dress glamorous, but I also love to dress, you know, for the season. It's like meant to be festive season now. It's meant to be cold. Brr. That's such an exaggeration. It's meant to be like cold in London, so I've got my jumper on. So, but it doesn't mean I'm just going to wear like a jumper all the time. I'm still going to wear like nice clothes, like sequin dresses and so on and so forth. Of course, there's a time and a place for these things. I may still wear it on live stream, but the point is you can do things to make things more interesting. I also talked about investing in a professional camera. I honestly believe that's one of the best investments I've made. I'm going to make a video with my professional camera and you're going to see the difference between this video, this live stream and the professional one. I talked about pitching to the media and following up. I mentioned, like, for example, one of the things to do when you're pitching, I mentioned that it's really important that you don't just pitch to like 1 or 2 and then you just do this disappearing act. You pitch to 1 or 2, follow up with the 1 or 2, and then also be pitching more. I talked about the importance also. I said if you want to get your next interview within the next 48 hours, one of the quickest ways you can do this is to go back to where you've been interviewed and ask them to interview you again. Why do we make this complicated? Why should we go in like, oh, I need to be on a new show? Yes, of course, try and be on new shows, but also think, well, I was in the Islington Gazette, I was on this channel. Just go back and ask them if they've got another opportunity. That is one of the ways you can get your next interview within 48 hours. I talked about that. I should have put that in the topic as well. Hi, Janine. Hi, Navid. So, thank you for jumping on. Thank you. So, little tweaks for big shifts. I want to talk about the $1 million PR idea. I'm going to talk about that in another live stream. I'm going to talk about the $1 million PR idea. I think that's going to be my next topic in the group for day 4. I'm going to talk about that because there is a $1 million idea, £1 million idea that's going to shift your business. It's going to take you to a whole nother level. And I tell you that there is one. There is one idea in PR that can change everything for you. Everything. So it could be as simple as being like video. It could just be the thing for you. Look at Marie Forleo. Many of you don't realize that her $1 million idea was the very fact, because she talked about this. She said that how she went from 6 figures to 7. One of the things that she did is when she decided to create a studio set, and it was like, this is what we need to do. We need to go pro. We need to have a studio, professional studio, where I'm filming this program, where I'm filming Marie TV. I'm not just doing it in my friend's basement. We've got a proper place. We invest in this place and we come along. And she's got like a crew and everything. Imagine if you took your brand that seriously, your business that seriously. Or imagine if we did, not just Marie doing it, like Marie really showing up. She's got this big production going on around Marie TV. What if we decided to do that? And by the way, not just like doing that all the time, but what if you decided to do that to promote your book? What if you decided to do a production around just a music video? Or what if you decided to do it as, for example, as a new show reel or as a new introduction video? Doing this once or twice a year could be enough to change the game. You've got all your good content, the live streams and the blog posts and, the Facebook posts, and then you've got those wow moments, those moments that make everyone pay attention to your video or pay attention to you, pay attention to what you do. So it could be like, oh my goodness, you create this video and everyone just goes crazy over it. Even if no one comments on it or likes it, which they will, but even if they didn't, they're going to pay attention. They're going to be like, wow, she has created a new music video. Oh my goodness, did you see her book launch video? Oh my goodness, did you see that video of her where she was being interviewed by one of her friends, but it was like in this really professional sense, and it just makes a difference. I'm going to post a video of me below showing you an example of a professional video that just looks a little bit different from what I do on live stream. And that was for television, but I still actually did it in my house. So I'm going to show it to you. I did it in my house. I just put a pink backdrop in the background and you just wouldn't even know that I was in the house. So it's interesting what we can do. This light is obviously not as bright as it could be. Usually with lighting, you need even brighter lighting, but because I'm just, in a way, trying to create that Christmassy feel, I don't need it to be too bright because Christmas is meant to be a bit warm. So I do want the light to be a bit warmer at this point. But I'm telling you, invest in a professional camera. That's one of the best things to do, because every time you go to an event, you have your professional camera there. You can use it for making videos. You can use it for doing like short adverts, in a way, adverts. You can advertise your products and services. So yeah, I mean, I just don't know what else to really say to you ladies or gents. If you have any questions or thoughts, let me know. But the main thing I want to say to you is, you know, when you're pitching to the media, just want to go back to that for a minute. When you pitch to the media, pitch in the sense of like, send that email, make the phone call, you know, connect with them through social media. It's okay to do either one of these things. Some people will say, oh, don't reach out through social media. Why not? You can. You can even tweet at them. Like, I used to do this. I used to tweet at the media. I used to hashtag, like, put them in the, you know, put the @ sign, get them into the, and I'll be like, oh, I would love, how can I, you know, send you my proposal to be on your show? So what? Who cares? Like, as in, they may not like it. Like, let's just get real. They may not even like it. But when you put them out there like that, they have to respond, because if they don't respond, it's rude, isn't it? So sometimes you have to like, and you have to be confident. I believe that they wanted to hear back from me. I believe that they would respond to me, and they did. And so sometimes we need to believe, we need to have that confidence and be like, you know, if you want to be in Oprah's magazine, tweet them and just be like, hi Oprah, how can I send my proposal to be in your magazine? I would love to send over my press release. I would love to send over my press kit. How can I, you know, send this over? And of course, one of the assistants will respond. And even if they don't respond, somebody will respond if you keep doing that. So I decided to go back on Twitter to get back into the Twitter game, because that's actually where the media tend to hang out the most, far above Facebook and Instagram. In fact, I don't really think the media hang out on Instagram and Facebook that much. Let's just, like, I'm going to be honest with you. Like 80% of the media are on Twitter. They're crazily on Twitter there. They're not really here. They're not here and they're not on Instagram. Of course, we're going to have a few, but if you message them through social, like here, so you're not going to really get any response. But if you go to Twitter, I have booked interviews like that through Twitter. Now, it does, one of the things you've got to remember is you've got to increase your profile. You've got to know who you are, and you've got to keep on building your profile. You've got to build your skills, your talents, your gifts. You've got to be able to know that if you're booked for an interview tomorrow, you can speak effectively, you're confident, you can travel. You know, someone once told me, a lady that I was reaching out to about a potential singing, like, you know, I wanted to book her to basically be my singing teacher. And one of the things that she said to me, she goes, Queen, well, yeah, one of the things she said to me, she goes, it's not about whether you can sing, because let's just face it, so many people can sing, everybody can sing, yeah? All the singers that want to have a record deal, most of them can sing, like a lot of them have great voices, but she said it's about whether you're willing to travel. It's about whether you're willing to go to the gigs, do the touring. It's about whether you're willing to do all of that. That is the question you need to ask yourself. In a way, she was basically saying, are you willing to put in the work to basically position yourself as a singer? Not just, oh, I can sing, and then therefore you think that that's going to happen. Kate says, not me. Oh, okay, but I know you're a great writer. So maybe singing's not your thing, but writing is your thing. I can't wait to see where like this book goes. I'm so excited about that. She is Unstoppable book. Yeah, Kate is a new author. So yeah, I'm so excited. So like, I just believe there's such an opportunity. PR is one of the biggest ways to transform your business over this festive season and going on into 2019. Why should we limit ourselves to social media, to Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, Snapchat or whatever, when we can open ourselves up to be on shows? And imagine like when I was on Twitter today and I was looking at all the different shows and all the different like TV channels and all the newspapers, I just was like, BBC News, BBC World, BBC, you know, I was like, there's so many, Radio 4, you know, all these different radio stations, all these different TV shows, all these different TV channels, all of these different magazines and newspapers, whether it's Sky, whether it's, things on well, I was going to say Netflix, but that's not true. Let's just get real. It's not really on Netflix. But as in, like, when you, like, just get your remote control, put your TV on, and just flick through and see how many channels. And imagine you being on some of those channels. And if you could just see things that way and just be like, hold on a minute, there are thousands of magazines. Why could I not be? Why shouldn't I be in some of those magazines? Why don't I make it my mission to be in some of these magazines? And so that's why I'm here. I'm here to help you to make this happen. Okay, so yeah. Okay, so one of the things I want to throw in as a tip, I want to throw in the tip of your personality. You've got to, I really believe you can't be too vanilla in the media. So you need to know what makes you exciting, what makes you fun, and you need to infuse that into your business and brand. Thanks for the likes. Thank you. Infuse that into your business, infuse that into your brand, infuse that into everything you do. I believe that the energy around television is charisma. The word charisma is one of the most important words when it comes to television. And that means that if you want to be on TV, you've got to be somewhat charismatic. You need to be able to smile and like potentially entertain people, make people laugh, or be quirky, be fun. You can't be offended easily, because nobody wants to interview someone and then they get angry and then they walk off the show. It doesn't make sense. Do you know what I mean? You've got to be lighthearted, and you've got to be able to, in a way, turn things on its head. Like, even if Piers Morgan is like annoying you while you're like if you're doing an interview and he says something like that really offends you, you need to be able to be like, kind of like a bit of banter and be like, Piers, you always say that, or whatever it is. Like, you need to be able to turn it around. I remember one of the professors when I went to a conference once, and he was giving me all these tips on how to handle like large crowds, or like, you know, if you're with your classroom students or whatever. He was like, look, one of the ways you can handle things is, let's just pretend that you were asked a question and you don't know the answer, because sometimes students can get a little bit like, try and put you on the spot and try and make you look like a fool. The very intelligent ones, they might just be like, and we all know we've done that. Have you ever done that before to your teacher and just been like, Miss, well, what's this? You know, expecting her to not know the answer, so you can kind of like be like, see, you don't know. I don't know if you've done that before. I know at least someone has done that. Like, one of us have done that one time, or at least we've thought about it. So when a student tries to get smart with the teacher, what we can turn around and say is, oh, I would love to answer that question, but if I do, I'll be here all day. By the way, can I say something? A lot of celebrities have said that. Have you heard them say that before? Or just think about it. When you watch interviews going forward, in fact, I encourage you to watch about 5 going forward, just to analyze what I'm saying and see if you notice any of these things. You will see that they say things like, oh, I would answer that. Or they'll pause and be like, laugh, because that means I'm not answering your question. And then they'll be like, oh, I can tell you don't want to answer it. Let's move on to another question. So there are ways around it. You've got to be like kind of fun, smart, quick-witted, and you can't be offended and say, and you can't be scared. You can't be like, oh, I don't know the answer to that. Oh my goodness, I better just run off the show now. Oh, I don't know the answer to that question. Oh my goodness, that means I'm a failure. No, it just means that, well, I don't know that. Do you know what? You can even be honest and say, look, I don't know the answer to that question. I don't know it right now. But what I will do is I'm going to, when I finish this interview, I am going to basically send you an email, and I'm just going to do a little bit of research and get back to you with that one. Or when I come on the show again, I'll definitely make sure to give you like my full, thoughts on this, because at this moment in time, my mind has literally gone blank. You can even say my mind's gone blank. Like, I'm put on the spot, mine's gone blank. I will definitely answer this when we finish the show or on the next interview. Now, I'm just telling you how to sort of escape if you're in those moments where you're like, oh my goodness, what am I going to do? Because those moments might come where you're like, what do I say now? And sometimes people have had, their careers have been ruined by those moments where they've said the wrong thing, or they just didn't know how to handle a question. And I think that's one of the things that makes women afraid of the media. Hi, Charlie. Thanks for jumping on. People are afraid to be in the media because they're afraid of like what can go wrong. And those tiny fears and worries are hiding somewhere, and they're blocking us from attracting the opportunities that we want. And that's why it's so important to look at your blocks as well. Look at like, what are you afraid of? What's the worst that can happen if you go and on Oprah, if you're on the Today Show, or if you're on ITV, if you were interviewed by Piers Morgan? What's the worst do you think that could happen? Are you afraid that you're going to be shown in a bad way, misrepresented, look like maybe they might edit it in a certain way that makes you look like you're not the person that you are? Are you afraid that people are going to criticize you after the show? Figure out what it is you're afraid of, because that could be the thing blocking you right now. You might be like, I want to be on these shows. Why isn't it happening? What's going on in you? What's going on in your mind? Journal, figure it out so that you can overcome it. My coach once said, that if you want to make, for example, 10K months, but it's not happening, she said that we should ask ourselves, like, what are you getting out of it? What are you getting out of not making 10K months? Okay, so Kate says, I've never been on TV, but even the thought of me excites me. I don't even think it will go bad. Oh my God, that's so good. So you know it's going to be good. And that's a very positive thing. I love the fact that you're excited about it, because if you're excited about it, then that means you have this inclination, this feeling that you're just meant to be on TV, or you feel like you could handle it when it comes up, and you'll be ready for, because some women are like, oh my goodness, don't put me forward. So if you don't feel like that, then that is actually a really good thing. Yay! I don't think it's going to go bad either. I do think, I'm going to be honest with you and say that there's probably going to be a moment in every woman entrepreneur's career where they're going to be like, there's going to be this cringe moment. And it might not be like something really serious. It could just be like, oh my God, I look bigger than I thought. Or, oh my goodness, I didn't realize I had, like my hair was sticking up, or whatever it would be. Like there's always something that we may notice at least once or twice in our career of being in the media. So if you do media, maybe you hear yourself back on a podcast show and you're like, oh my goodness, I was speaking too much. I have noticed, Kate's laughing. I've noticed with me, sometimes I ask, like, I could be interviewing someone and I'll ask too many questions. Or like, so I'll ask them like 3 questions in one. Everyone has their thing. And of course, what they'll do is just edit it so it sounds a lot better. But I sometimes ask too many questions, or sometimes I don't get to the point quick enough. I might just like ramble on. I must admit though, when I'm on television, I'm a little bit different from how I am on live stream. Live stream, you can just ramble, blah, blah, blah. But on television, I must admit, I'm a lot more precise, because I'm trained constantly, number one. I'm constantly being trained daily. I'm constantly working on myself daily. I don't just go on television and just like do whatever. I'm constantly preparing, and that's one of the things to keep doing, is constantly prepare and keep on refining yours. If you go on television, or if you go on radio or whatever, and you just think, oh, I'll just wing it, I think that's good. But I think the difference between someone that ends up going on national television and international and so on and so forth is just that they don't wing it. They do spend that time preparing. I remember once I was competing in a beauty pageant, and I ended up coming second runner-up, and the girl that won, I remember every time we had a break, she would take her notes and she'd be reading, and she'd be like going through it and making sure to rehearse her lines, and she won the pageant. But the rest of us, as much as we were taking it as seriously, she was taking it on a whole nother level. Now, I'm not saying we have to always over-rehearse, but that rehearsing, when you have that break, even if it's 5 minutes out of the break where you just go over your lines again, or you go over your notes again, you have your CV in front of you so that you can remember the things you've achieved. You've got your book in front of you so that you can remember some key segments that you want to highlight on the interview. It can make a difference, because when we are put on the spot, we can forget things. We can be like, oh my God, I forgot to talk about my PR media bundle. I forgot this, I forgot that, because we're on the spot. And when you're in front of lights, camera, and action, and there's a big audience in front of you, it can feel wonderful, but at the same time, it can also be daunting. So I hope this has been helpful. Let me know if you've got any questions or thoughts, and I would love for you to join the challenge, the Facebook group. I'm going to drop the link below. I promise to. And there is also a cash prize. I'm doing a cash prize. Yay! I'm also doing giving away 2 of my PR media bundles in the challenge as well, and a 90-minute intensive. Okay, another thing I'm promoting, I want to quickly let you know, I'm promoting my end of year one-on-one coaching package, 8-week package, which is a special just for the kind of festive season. At the moment, I've kind of slashed it to literally close to like 75% off. I think, no, probably a little bit, not maybe about 60% off. I have to figure out what the exact percentage is, but it's a really good price point. It's like, normally it's just a little bit, usually it's like a 3K package, just a little bit under 3K, but at the moment it's like 1,297, which is just crazy good, crazy ridiculous. So if you're interested in that, or if you're interested in just jumping on a strategy session with me and finding out more about PR, definitely message me. I'm going to drop the link to that below, that package as well. I only have like a few more spots with that, and then I'm just going to literally just increase it a little bit to over to like maybe 2,500, and then it'll go back to its original price point. So most certainly jump in at that price point if that's something you want. One lady that wanted to work with me, we were kind of like just talking about working together. The minute that I kind of like, threw in this discount, like kind of put this special offer together, I reached back out to her and I was like, what do you think about this? And she signed up immediately. So I definitely want to say that it is going to be a game changer. It's one of those programs where I'm going to be doing the pitching for you. and I'm going to be coaching you at the same time. I feel like the combination of coaching and the pitching is what actually brings those results, because sometimes, like I said, the blocks and barriers, we may not know that they exist. And I remember like one of my clients that kept putting her forward for things, and she kept saying, oh, I'm not ready. And I was like, oh, I'm seeing a pattern. But she couldn't see the pattern. But I'm like, I'm seeing your blind spots. I'm seeing things you can't see. And I said that one of the things we need to do is we need to remember that there is a sweet spot, and I am the middle person. This is the media here, the client is here, and I am the middle person. I am the PR person. So I need to bring these two people together, the media and the client and the media. I'm bringing you both together, but I am the person that can kind of bring you together. So it's like water and coffee. You mix it together, it turns to this delicious drink with the milk. The milk is, well, do you get my point? Like I'm probably the milk then, yeah? If we're making coffee, I'll be the milk. So we've got the coffee, we have the water, and then the milk is in the middle, and it just brings it all together. And it could be almond milk, whatever milk you want it to be. But do you get my point? How like without the milk, it just doesn't taste as good. It's like, oh, it's too strong or whatever, or, you know, it may not be right if someone wants the milk in it. So it doesn't have to be, you know, cow's milk. It can be, you know, whatever milk you like, almond milk, you know. But the most important thing I'm trying to say to you is it's like, if the client thinks this way and the media if they think a completely different ways, like the client's thinking, oh, I can just go on TV tomorrow and yeah, it shouldn't be hard. And then the media thinking, we'll never interview you. Like, you need to get so much together before we want you on the show. I mean, if we were so good at what we do, if we were ready right now for Glamour magazine, if we were ready right now for Cosmopolitan, if we were at the Vogue level, we would have been on Vogue already. And it's got nothing to do with being like, oh, I've got to be a celebrity. No, because there are so many people that are not celebrities and they're gracing the cover of these magazines, or they are being interviewed 2-page spreads, 5-page spreads, because of their story, their passion, the way they stand out in the marketplace. In fact, the media are hunting them down. You know, when I was first featured in the media, my first magazine feature was in OK Magazine. I was not a celebrity, but because I was competing in a pageant that day, they were there and they decided to make me be someone that was featured. So being at the right place at the right time is important, but you have to become the person that will even go to the place in the first place, wherever that place is for you. And so if this has been helpful, do let me know. I'll drop my links below. And of course, there's also the PR Media Bundle. That's the thing where you can just DIY it. And because you may know a lot already when it comes to PR, all you need to do is go through the bundle and it can just help you further. And there's a Facebook group to support you. So I think I've said like 3 offers. But anyway, join us for the challenge, number 1. Number 2, if you're interested in one-on-one, definitely DM me or look out for the link I'll drop below. And number 3 is the PR and Media Bundle. I'm going to drop all 3 links below. Thank you for watching and love you all. Hope you found this to be interesting. See you in my next live stream.